it's been a very, very strong third quarter for Goa Carbon. This is the company where the earnings came over the weekend, and the stock is, of course, currently locked in an upper circuit. To discuss the quarter gone by, joining us now is Mr. Shrinivas Dempp, the chairman of Goa Carbon. Mr. Dempp, thanks for joining us. Let me just start off with the fact that we have seen such a big gain in your top line itself. If you could start off by telling us and giving us the factors that you attribute to this quarter's performance.
Sure. Very good morning to all of you. First of all, the reason that we have shown such good performance is due to two factors. One is, of course, the strong demand from the aluminum companies. I think both in China as well as in India, the aluminum production is on the rise, and that is the reason why CP Coke demand is so very high. The other thing is the material that was earlier exported from China to India, in view of their own requirement as well as certain plants closing down due to various factors such as pollution, the capacity has got rationalized in China. So these are the two factors that we find that the demand for CP Coke, which is the main product of Goa Carbon, is so high.
Sir, just want to get a check, a good jump on the top line. How much will you attribute this to price-led growth, and how much will you attribute it to volume-led growth?
I'll tell you our volumes from the last quarter, which was 61,000, is gone to 63,000. As well as the selling price has gone up from about 24,500 to almost 29,500. So we see a great jump in the selling price, as also a marginal increase in the production.
What about your input cost? That too has gone up for the quarter. What's the outlook there?
Sure. The input cost is also gone up. As you rightly observed, the green coke prices have been going up. As a result of, again, demand from the CP Coke industry. But the good news is that we have been able to sort of pass on these increased costs to our end buyers, which have a very strong demand for the product.
All right, so Mr. Dempp, there is also the case where we've seen a sharp reduction in your finance costs and higher other income. I know this question has two parts to it, but if you could also address both these variables and could tell us about more updates and give us more updates with respect to both these issues.
As the first issue, as you've rightly observed, we have been able to reduce the finance cost, primarily because we do buy raw material over the longer run, as well as we buy some raw material in the spot market. Because the inflows, cash inflows have been so strong, we have used the cash to buy raw material at very attractive prices whenever we can. And that has reduced the finance cost to a very large extent.
And will it be correct to say the current debt which you have is more of working capital debt, or it's more of long-term capital?
It's all working capital debt. We have zero term debt.
Okay, so are you looking to raise then more funds via this route?
For the current operations, no.
Okay.
Because we can manage through our fund flows at the moment. So I don't think the debt should go up further because of the current operations.
Okay, but since you mentioned that demand has been higher, considering there have been capacities shut down in China, which has led to higher demand and higher prices for this financial year. What's the capacity utilization that you currently have, and are you looking to increase your capacity?
I wish we had more capacity at the moment. We are currently running close to 100%. We actually ran 96%, and the reason that it's 96 is only because we had to take a plant shutdown for one of our plants, and that's the reason it's 96, otherwise it would have been 100%. So currently the demand is so strong, and we have a strong order pipeline for our major customers. Most of the volumes that are produced are sold immediately.
So if I could also quiz you on the realizations per ton in the quarter, and if you could give us an outlook in terms of realizations going ahead.
Realizations for the quarter is almost close to 30,000 tons, which was about 25,000 tons last quarter. So we have seen a good increase of 5,000 rupees per ton. As you said, the cost of goods also has gone up, but that has not gone up to the extent of the realization in the sale price. Looking into the fourth quarter, we also again have, as I said earlier, a very strong pipeline of orders. We have close to about 50,000 tons of orders. And that too when, we are yet to negotiate for the month of March. So basically we are talking about 50,000 tons till February. And we are currently at about close to sales of about 160,000 tons as of the 9 months. So if we add 50,000, it should cross 2 lakh tons. And our rated capacity is about 2,20,000. So you can imagine that we are, producing and selling to almost full capacity.
Okay, are you able to meet the demand which is there in the market right now?
Currently, to the extent that we can, yes. But as I said earlier, if we had more capacity, yes, we could have looked at a few export, tonnages, as well as we could have increased our sales to our, current customers.
Just last question from my side, Mr. Dempp. Your current tax has been higher for the quarter, and the reason for the same that you've highlighted is that includes tax for earlier years as well, amounting to 4.4 crore rupees. Just want to get a check. In the coming quarters, is there more tax of earlier years which still has to get accounted for?
No, most of the earlier year accounts have the tax part has been taken care of. So we have adequate provision there, so there won't be any past tax effects. But going forward, as you said, looking at the profitability, we will continue to pay taxes to that extent.
All right, Mr. Dempp, we leave it at that. Thanks for joining us and giving us an outlook on your earnings as well as, of course, the outlook on the business going forward.